Hi, welcome back to another episode of Unfiltered Brew. I'm your host, Katerina, and this is Nora.
Hey guys.
Today we got some really spicy subject to talk about.
Classes in session. You're gonna want to take notes.
We are talking about red, green, and yellow flags in men. I'm so excited about this topic. We're gonna be sharing our personal experiences. We're gonna be sharing ways to point out red flags, green flags, yellow flags in men.
We're gonna be exposing you today, guys.
Tell me some of your red flags.
Ooh, I have too many. I think my biggest red flag would be being cheap. I just can't do it. I grew up in the Middle East, and you're Eastern European. Our cultures are very, like the men are the caretakers of the family, of the household. I've never had to take out my wallet around the men in my family.
Neither have I.
It's just like how it is. Listen, girls, if you're gonna be out on a date with someone and the check comes, because it's a weird thing that they do here in America. Like here, some restaurants will just place the check on the table before you even ask for it, which is kind of crazy. But if the waitress comes over and places the check on the table, and then he grabs it and slides it towards you to go half-seas, you know what you gotta do. The only thing that's splitting is the distance between you and him, because you're running the other way.
Red flag.
Run.
Cheap is my biggest thing too. I cannot stand cheap men. I can't. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're not going 50-50. We're not going half-seas on dates. It's just not gonna work.
I went on a first date with this guy, and it was funny because he's like, "Hey, you want to go see a show?" And I said, "Yeah, let's." And he's like, "Oh, I got free tickets to a show." I said, "Okay." I'm thinking, okay, I wonder if he would have actually bought tickets, or is he asking me because he got free tickets? Okay, whatever, cool. He got free tickets, and then we're having dinner at this Italian restaurant. The waiter gave him the check, which, being in the hospitality industry, if I'm giving someone a check, I always give it to the guy first to see what he'll do. But anyways, back to the story. So he gave him the check, and he took the check and opened it and pushed it towards me a little bit. I looked at him. I said, okay. So then I said, do you want me to give you I was just testing him out.
Okay.
Because I feel like a guy should pay on a first date. Like, it's a good impression.
Absolutely.
Like, I think you should pay on the first date. I'm not saying a girl should never pay. They really shouldn't, because we're queens. But I think it's okay for a girl to pay when you're deeper into the connection. So I asked him, do you want me to give you my card? And he's like, if you want. I'm like, all right, I already know I'm never gonna speak to this guy again. So I give my card, he pays half and half. I said, fine, let's go see the show. I'm never gonna talk to him again. So listen to how cheap he is. We walk into the theater, okay? There's a bar right in front of the theater. And I asked him, should we get a glass of wine while we're watching this show? And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I said, all right, would you like a glass of wine? And he's like, yeah, I'll have Cabernet. So I go and I get us a glass of wine, and then we go watch a show, and I'm already bored. And I'm like, all right, I'm ready. I'm tired. I'm just gonna go home. And he's like, all right, I had so much fun with you. Then texts me the next day. He's like, hey, let me know if you wanna go out sometime. I just,
Crickets.
I'm sorry, I'm not one to ghost, because I do believe in communicating. If you don't feel anything, I believe in telling someone, hey, you and I are just not on the same vibration level. We're not on the same page. I wish you nothing but the best. I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste my time, but there's no connection here. I wish you nothing but the best, and I hope you find your person.
Is that what you said to him?
No, I ghosted him. I ghosted him. Honestly, I'm not the one to ghost.
And it's probably what he deserved. How to spot a cheap man. Let's just hypothetically say he bought the tickets, okay? But some men want to think like, okay, I bought the tickets. She better pay for the drinks. She better pay for dinner.
Yeah.
If he's asking you to,
it's a first date. A man should pay.
I'm going to run to the restroom. I'm gonna, go grab my phone from the car. Girl, run.
Man, I was growing up every single guy in my life, whether even any girl that was my family member, whether it was our uncle, our cousins, all the men paid in our as we were
growing up.
It's just the way we were. Like the men paid, my dad paid, my uncle paid, my cousins paid. Like it's just a thing. And I'm not saying like that girls should never pay. Like I get it. Like a girl should pay sometimes, and I've been in a relationship where, one time I pay, he pays. Most of my men have always paid, but I still I'm like, okay, I'll pay. Like
you
just
wanna
show
just,
appreciation.
like a gesture.
But on a first date, a man should pay.
If he's trying to split the bill, split the rent, split anything, the only thing that's splitting
Is this relationship.
is
Bye.
What's another big one for you, Kat?
I would say dishonesty is another big one for me. I don't like when, I'm a very honest person and I expect the honesty back. And I don't like when men lie about stupid shit. Like, why are you lying? What do you get out of lying? Whether it's lying about, just random. I've caught men lying about the most stupidest things ever. If you're lying about something so little now, what are you going to lie about later as our connection grows and we get deeper into it?
Pathological lying is when the man lies and then believes the lie and lives in that bubble of lies and those scenarios he's made up in his mind, and then he believes them. That's what's even worse than just
your own lies. And you make all this shit up to I'm so, I don't understand. I don't know why it's so hard to just be honest and tell someone how you exactly feel.
So how do you help our listeners identify a liar? Because a lot of women out there are gullible, who haven't been out on the streets, who haven't had a lot of experience, are just gonna believe everything that comes out of a man's mouth.
Especially I feel like a lot of girls in today's generation, they're very naive when it comes to men and they believe everything that they see. I feel like a lot of girls these days will just believe anything anyone says.
Girl, this is why we have Google. Google the man before you go out with him. I've done it.
Google men, yeah.
You never know what you might find on Google.
You know what I else think is kind of crazy? How men these days, even men in today's generation, lie and they make up stuff for someone to feel bad for them. Like health issues.
For all you listeners,
I have experienced men in my life that have lied and made up health issues.
Guys,
just so you feel bad for them.
Yeah.
You're literally making up health issues and believing that something is wrong with you and describing this whole diagnosis.
Guys, for all of you that are listening or watching, please go back and listen to episode 1. Get a little
where this lying and this making up scenarios is coming from. Not making up scenarios, making up health scenarios.
To seek sympathy from people. And what was the major lie that you've experienced?
I would say lying about health issues is a major one, and it's a major red flag. Who does that? You're
lying about your relationship status.
And lying about your relationship status, I have experienced that too, about men lying that they're single when they're not. I've had men in my DMs that have been in a relationship and they reached out to me and I said, "Are you single yet?" And they're like, "No." And I said, "Okay, bye." I feel bad for the girl.
At least they're honest with you.
I feel bad for the girl.
Cheaters. I know you're out there, you're listening. Men that speak to multiple women.
Yes. Men that speak to multiple women. Actually, the last guy that I was kind of talking to for a little bit, I didn't realize it at the beginning, but he was talking to multiple women at the same time. I found out he was talking to not one, not two, but 4 different women. And some of those women didn't know about each other. And then they found out about each other. 2 of those women shared the same toothbrush at his house because they thought that was their own toothbrush. It's disgusting. We're not going to talk about who and what and where and why, but...
You know who you are.
Yeah, it's just disturbing and a huge red flag.
I've been in a relationship where I've thought I was dating this person, and we were dating for a long time. And I come to find out via social media that he got engaged while we were still dating.
Oh, I remember you telling me that.
Yeah.
You didn't even know.
I didn't even know.
He said, where did he say he was going?
He told me, because we met on the day of his engagement party. We hung out that morning, and he said he was going to his cousin's engagement party, but it was his own engagement party.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we were long distance for a while, so I wasn't there all the time. I don't want to give too much detail, but I was blindsided. I was just scrolling on Instagram, and the next thing you see is a picture of him with his family and the little caption, "Congratulations on your engagement." Like, I jumped out of my seat. My sister was sitting across from me. I ran over to Aya. I'm like, "Aya, is this true? What am I looking at? What is going on?" And she cracks up. She's like, "Oh, there's no way, Nora. This can't be real." I'm like, "Read the caption." So yeah, I don't know when you want to
Say you were at a hair salon and you just walked out without even washing your
hair. They had a mask in my hair, I think, and my sister was getting a haircut. I got up. I was like crying. I left the salon. I just paid for whatever service I was getting, walked out with wet hair, got in the car, drove home. I was in Tush. I'm like, I was just with him like 2 days ago. We were celebrating.
How long together?
Too long.
You found out he was going to his
I was
cousin's
visiting.
engagement,
Yeah.
but it was really his own engagement party.
I was visiting because I was living here and he was living overseas. When I went to visit, we were hanging out, and then we met up, and he says, "Yeah, like, I'm going to my second cousin's engagement party tonight." And I'm like, "Oh, cool, like, what cousin?" Like, he didn't even get into the specifics. I'm like, okay, whatever. I was so nonchalant about it. I just got in town. Next thing you know, a few days later, he continued to hang out with me while he was engaged.
Oh my God.
And then next thing you know,
That is not only like a red flag, that is like a red times 5, like 5 red flags.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
it's a time of my life that has shaped the person I am today and why I've become so guarded and I've learned how to set boundaries with people. But yeah, people do that every day.
Oh my God, they do. I went to Dubai and I met this guy, and he lives part-time Dubai, part-time, because he's got a business in Dubai, but he also lives in London. So he invited me for the F1 in Dubai last December. And he's like, "I'll pay for your flight, I'll pay for your hotel, like everything." As we were talking, our communication like kind of faded a little bit. And I was like, well, how do you go from like talking all the time to barely communicating? And I found out that his ex had came to Dubai as well because he had 2 kids. So he says, "Oh, the kids needed her." I said, "Oh, so you can't travel without your ex coming to, you can't just travel with your kids alone. It's just like weird." And I was like, "Oh, are you like staying with your ex?" He's like, "No." And I was like, "Well, were you with your ex like last night?" And he's like, "Yeah, because we all took the kids." So you're inviting me to Dubai and offering to pay me all this stuff, and then your ex is there too? It's just disturbing, like what goes through these men's heads.
Yeah,
I literally stopped talking to him after that.
I mean, the fact
we don't communicate anymore. That is just not.
The fact that he was comfortable enough to even tell you. I mean, does he think that's okay? Because he's being honest.
He says, "Oh, we're friends."
That's another one.
Can you be friends with your ex?
Absolutely not. There's no way.
Depends. To me, it depends.
I've never been in a position where I was comfortable to be friends with an ex. I know friends who are very comfortable speaking to their exes, and they talk regularly, and I'm like, how? Maybe because it was a mutual breakup. So I guess this would be like a
yellow flag. A yellow, yeah.
And
I think there are people that actually can be friends with their ex depending on how the situation ended. My ex of 9 years, we were engaged, this and that. We ended things. We were just 2 different people with 2 different goals. Mm-hmm. We never had any chaotic or crazy breakup. It was just like a normal, mutual, you want this at the time, I want something different, and we just split ways. Like, it was just normal. Mm-hmm. So like, if I were to be ever friends with him, which I'm not, But like, I don't think it would be a bad deal because there's nothing there for him from me to him. But like, you know, I wish him nothing but the best. And I feel those type of really, he's happy now, like he's married, blah, blah, blah. But like, there are like, I don't know, there are certain like exceptions on being friends with your ex.
Maybe after a time period where you've both moved on and healed.
Yeah.
Even if it was a bad breakup, you're both in separate relationships and you see each other on the street and you know, holla at each other, you know, there needs to be boundaries.
Oh, for sure, 100%
you know,
boundaries.
But I've seen people who are very comfortable being in the same circle of friends with their exes. I mean, I can't physically, like, I don't know. For me, it's like, again, depends on the situation.
Yeah. It depends on the situation, but I'm not. Yeah. I'm not friends with my exes. None of them.
What about if you meet a guy and he starts describing his exes as crazy? That's a red flag.
100% a red flag.
Because you know what? You're going to be the next crazy person that he talks about.
A red flag, for sure. What have you done to her that she is crazy? Because a lot of the men, you know, they'll gaslight you, they'll love bomb you, they'll manipulate you, and then they'll fuck with your head, and then they'll call you crazy. Well, I am crazy because of what you just did to me.
You're
mentally, you're a narcissist. Yeah. That's why I'm crazy.
It shows you how he lacks respect for women he's dated.
Yeah.
That's another red flag, disrespect. I could never respect a man that speaks poorly about a woman. No matter what the woman has done, there needs to be a level of respect. You shouldn't be bad-mouthing a person in general, especially a woman.
Yeah, I agree.
That's a major red flag for me. A true man has enough self-respect where he would just move on peacefully and not like shit talk. Don't gossip, don't shit talk, don't spread. What if she's working on herself and she's healed and she's moved on from that phase of her life and she's become a better person, and here you are 5 years later still calling your ex a crazy bitch? You don't know how that can come back and hurt her. Maybe she has kids now, maybe she's happily married. You never know. That goes to everybody, women and men. Don't talk about people, don't gossip, because you never know how it could hurt their careers, their relationships, their friendships. A lot of people may have a certain time of their life where they are crazy and they act out. You never know what they're going through. You never know who that person they were interacting with was, like you said, gaslighting them, causing them to act a certain way. And maybe they're working on themselves and they've healed and they've become a better version of themselves. But here you are still talking about their bad behavior.
That shows like that the person that is talking about their bad behavior needs healing. Needs healing and needs to reevaluate their life and figure out a way to heal themselves and find a way to figure out what is causing you to talk badly about this person. You don't know what someone's going through. These men cause these girls to react and go crazy, but then a lot of men their egos are so high, they're like, I don't need a therapist, I don't need help. They think that they're perfect, but they're not.
And they carry the same trait, the same behavior over to the next relationship and the next relationship, and it's just like a never-ending cycle.
Tell me another red flag.
So we've talked about the obvious ones, right? We've talked about cheapness, dishonesty, disloyalty, cheaters, love bombing, calling your ex crazy.
Yeah.
Why don't we talk about the sneaky red flags that they're not so obvious and that can be
Okay, tell us, Nora.
A man with no bed frame. What does that tell you?
What?
He doesn't have a bed frame. What does that tell you?
He's a red flag and that he's broke. He's a red flag and he's broke.
Yeah.
What do you mean you can't buy? Go on Marketplace and buy a bed frame. If you can't afford a bed frame, oh my God.
Yeah.
Run, girl, run.
And then just like, this is the gift that keeps on giving. Like no bed frame, which means no furniture. His house is probably messy, doesn't clean up. I mean, if you walk into a guy's house and there's no bed frame, out. Walk right back out. No bed frame is a red flag.
Yes.
Calls his mom mommy in his texts to his mom.
Ew. No.
That's a sneaky red flag.
I don't like it. That's so cringy. Mommy, can you get me some breakfast?
Actually, you know what? Maybe a man with no bed frame means he has mommy issues. Because he's expecting his mom to come, like, pick out the frame and make his bed and do his laundry and clean up after himself.
God. Oh, Lord.
Yeah. Okay, so another sneaky red flag is a man that's too nice.
I don't know. A man that's too nice.
Yeah, I feel like too nice means like no boundaries.
I don't know
Doesn't
if
know how
that's
to-
a red flag.
Okay, maybe it's not a red flag.
I don't know if that's a red flag. I feel like if he's too nice to me, then he's too nice to you, then he's too nice to everybody that he's trying
All
to
the
talk
girls.
to.
Nice and kind are two different things, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
anyone can be nice. Anybody you meet on the street can be nice. But I'm not saying not like too kind. I'm saying too nice. Too
Like
kind.
way too nice. Like way too nice.
Really
Pushover. That's what it is. Like
Yeah.
being kind and being nice is like it's totally like two different things. I just think when a guy is like too nice, it just comes off desperate a little bit because he's constantly texting you, hey, let's do something. Hey, can I take you out like 5 different times? Hey, can I come over? Hey, when can we go out? Since you can't do it that day, can we go that day? It's just, can I do this for you? Let me get that for you. Let me do this. I just think that's super
Yellow.
It's not giving you anything to work towards.
Right.
Literally, it's not. It's not a challenge, but we like a challenge.
Keep us on our toes. Okay, so I think it's time for a little fun game. We're gonna be calling this segment the Espresso Shot.
Okay.
Okay. So
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
Cheers to espresso. This is like my second espresso shot. I'm gonna be wired.
So the point of the game is I'm gonna call out different scenarios, and we just have to rapidly do red, yellow, or green.
Okay. I'm ready.
So his mom still does his laundry.
Red.
Red flag. Definitely a red flag.
Red flag.
He says he doesn't believe in marriage.
Red flag.
Red flag. Girls, no. Don't
Red
fall for
flag.
that. He Snapchats more than he texts. That's
Red
a red
flag. Red flag.
That's a red flag.
Red flag. Red flag.
You never know who else.
Oh,
is,
I know.
right?
And Snapchat deletes.
Yes.
Well, you can save Snapchat now, but most like Snapchat is like a very sneaky way of a man speaking to other girls because the conversation deletes unless you save it.
Yeah.
That's why you guys use Snapchat.
Red flag.
Snapchat is a red flag.
He has a female best friend, but swears they're like siblings.
I would say in between yellow and red.
Yeah.
Because I have guy friends that are literally like my brothers.
Yeah.
It could be depending on their action with one another and how they are physically. Because the guys that I am friends with personally, I'm never all over them or I'm not texting them. It's literally a brother and sister kind of relationship. So that one, I would definitely say between red and yellow.
Okay. He talks about himself 90% of the time.
Red flag. Ding,
Dating
ding.
a diva. Girl, you're
Ding,
dating
ding,
a diva.
ding, princess.
He never plans dates and just says, I don't know, we'll do whatever you
Red
want.
flag. Red flag.
You need a guy
girls,
for effort.
Yes, girls want someone to actually take control. Like, hey, tell me where we're going. I don't want to have to choose every time. All my relationships, I've had to choose. Like, where are we going? What are we doing? You know, what trip are we going on? Girls like when you take control. Tell us, hey, be ready at 7:15. Wear this. It's a surprise. Let's go.
Yeah,
we like that.
The element of surprise. Okay, he takes 12 hours to respond to a text, but he's always on his phone when he's around you.
Red flag. Red flag.
That's actually one of my biggest
flag.
pet peeves. I actually say it to my cousins and my siblings, like my sister. They're around me, they're always on their phone. But like when I text them, it takes them a whole day to respond.
Yes.
Red flag.
Red flag, 1,000% red flag. We are all on our phones.
Yeah.
Everybody's on their phone 24/7.
Yeah,
so when someone says they didn't see your message, they are lying.
They're lying.
Because we are all on our phones 24/7 and there's absolutely no reason why you should not respond right away. The reason why they don't respond is because they don't want to respond.
Yep.
That's what it is.
Speaking of phones, he's overly secretive about his phone.
Red flag, red flag. Red flag. I can't express that enough. Red flag.
Definitely a red flag.
A liar, a red flag, a narcissist. I'm dead serious because when I'm in a relationship, you can look at my phone all you want. Go ahead, here, take my phone and do whatever you want with it.
I have no
When
secrets
you're
on my phone.
hiding, even me grabbing to look at your phone and you have an issue with it, there's something
No,
there.
and the secret, like, he's like texting, he's on his phone, the phone is so close up to his face, and he's like leaned over to the edge.
Yeah.
He doesn't want you looking.
Ding, ding,
Girl.
ding, ding, ding,
Yeah, red
ding.
flag.
Run, girl, run,
Red
run,
flag.
run.
If you're not comfortable sharing each other's passwords in a relationship,
You shouldn't even have a password in a trustworthy relationship. Relationships are all about trust.
he calls his mom every day.
No, I think that's
Wait, I would say
between a green and yellow.
Honestly, it could mean that he's really good to his mom.
Yeah.
And I value family. So do you.
I do too. Yeah, I love a guy that has good family values, and
There needs to be boundaries. If
Yes.
he's sharing everything that goes on in your relationship with his mom, that's
a red flag
That's
to
a red.
me. I
But if
don't
he's
like
calling
that.
up his mom and checking up on her, making sure she's okay, and just catching up every day, well, green flag. You want a guy who values family and respects his parents, and like that to me, like it's attractive. When I meet a guy and I see the way he speaks to his family, I'm like very observant of that, like how he treats his family, how he talks to his family, how he talks to his parents. Does he check on his parents, call his parents, visit his parents?
It's very important.
That's definitely a green flag, girls.
I think when you see a guy treating his mom so well, it does definitely say a lot about his character and that he has respect for women. A guy that does not treat his mother correctly or nicely is not a good guy, in my opinion.
And it's just gonna be a reflection on how he's
gonna treat you. Exactly. You got it.
Boom.
Target.
Okay, should we keep going? He still follows his ex on social media, but he says he doesn't care about her.
Red flag. If you don't care about her, then why do you have her on social media?
You're creeping up on her?
Yeah. Like
You're
why
checking
are
up
you?
on her?
Yeah.
Checking who she's dating, who she's talking to, checking her story?
Yeah.
No. Red flag.
No, red flags.
Red flag.
Red flags.
Okay, so this is a funny one. He wears flip-flops everywhere, even to dinner.
Ew. Hey.
Don't like toes. I don't like feet. I don't want to see them on our dates. No.
I hate when men wear flip-flops.
Even
Red
at the
flag.
beach, to be honest. I don't even want to see men wearing
I
flip-flops at
don't.
the beach.
Sandals is better than flip-flops. Like,
yeah.
why do you have to wear flip-flops?
Can't do flip-flops.
Why are you wearing flip-flops? I'm sorry to the men that wear flip-flops. I don't like it personally, but maybe there's girls that do.
They have
toes and feet, and they have fetish and all that stuff. Like, good for you, girl. Like, I give you so much credit.
We talked about this one. He asks you to go half and half on the first date. Just a little reminder,
That's
ladies.
just a red flag.
Definitely a red
no,
flag.
we don't go half and half.
He lives with his parents at age 30, but says it's financially smart.
Red flag. Red flag.
Definitely a red flag.
No, you just can't.
I need an independent man who doesn't have his mom still cook for him and clean for him and do his laundry and folds his
Yeah. It's like, bro, grow up.
Okay, next one is he doesn't post you on Instagram, but he's always on Instagram. Red flag.
What's he hiding, and who is he hiding it from?
Why is he afraid to show you off on Instagram?
If you guys are dating, there's no reason why he shouldn't be posting you.
If a man is not active on social media at all,
Yeah.
if he's constantly posting his story every single day,
And you're nowhere to be
and
found,
he's
that's a red
taking
flag.
selfies, and he's shirtless at the gym, again another red flag.
It's a red
Taking
flag.
selfies at the gym, shirtless. I don't want to see your abs on social media. I don't need to.
I think men that like
They're
trying
like-
to post their body.
And they're like, no, I'm sorry, the biting the lip is what gets me.
No.
Right? You've seen those.
I think that's like an internal
There goes
struggle in them. It's an insecurity in men. And they honestly, it's an insecurity in,
How do I look?
I can't even talk.
And they have their shirt lifted up, and you can see a
Dude,
little
I can't.
two-pack sneaking. I mean, put
Man,
that shit away.
It's an insecurity, and they're looking for external validation.
Yeah. I have another good
Boom.
one. I just came up with this one. He posts himself dancing on TikTok.
I think it's kind of cute. He's happy.
I guess it depends on the type of dance. If he's biting his lip, shaking his ass to the camera.
And if he's twerking, like.
Twerking and.
Why are you twerking
Why are
on
you
TikTok?
twerking on TikTok?
I think people that dance, I think it's fine. It's cute. There's worse things, I feel.
No, I can't. That's cringe. Cringe. I think we've covered a lot of red flags today. We haven't had a lot of green flags.
Yeah.
I hope everybody that's been listening or watching, ladies, I hope you've been taking notes. Boys, I hope you're learning from this conversation. If we've missed any major red flags, please DM us.
Please comment.
Yeah, DM us on Instagram at Unfiltered Brew. Follow, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next episode. There's going to be a lot of fun ones coming on.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening and watching.
We love you, and we'll see you in the next episode. Mwah.
Bye.
Remember your red flags.